Paul is very clear in his letter to Timothy, in 1 Timothy, that he says, Timothy, I'm not sure I'm going to make it to you, so I'm writing to you these things that you'll know how to conduct yourself. And what that means is, you don't have the right, nor does your pastor, or if you are a pastor, you do not have the right to conduct yourself in church as seems right in your own eyes. You have the strict command to follow the Master with regard to His bride. If I had to leave my bride with you and go on a long journey, I would give you careful instructions, and I would deal with you if they were not carried out. And He has given us instructions. It is not a cruel, punitive church discipline. No, it is a loving, compassionate church discipline that God has given us in order to restore sinners and to protect the reputation of the church. And when you refuse to be a part of that, you are disobeying Christ. There's just no other way to say it. I'm sorry, there's not. There have been scholars down through the ages who have said, actually, that the moment a church ceases to practice church discipline, it ceases to be a church. This is so, brothers, it is so very, very important. Church discipline. Now let me just go with you real quick what that means, because some of you probably have never even heard of this. It comes about that within the congregation it is discovered there is a brother in a sin, in a continuous, ongoing sin, usually public, usually scandalous. But it doesn't have to be public necessarily, and it doesn't have to be scandalous. A brother is in sin. Another brother goes to him and says, brother, according to Matthew 18, brother, you're in sin. And if the person says, oh, I recognize it, I repent, thank you, then he's won his brother. There's nothing left to do. Unless it be something greatly public and scandalous that must be taken care of in a public manner. But he's won his brother. But if the brother says, I don't care, I'll continue in my sin, then the brother who has rebuked him goes and gets wiser men than himself to judge, usually the elders. And they come together and they deal with the brother. Brother, you must turn away from this adultery. You must turn away from this sin you're committing. You must turn away from your idolatry. And he tells the pastor, no, I don't care. Then after much admonition and prayer and heart-wrenching intercession by those involved, finally, after pleading and pleading, they bring it before the congregation. And the congregation begs this brother with tears in their eyes, please turn from your sin. And he says, no, I will not. Then they put him out. They do not put him out for punitive reasons. They put him out for redemptive reasons. So that if he is a believer, God in His providence will deal with him. Even to the point of unleashing Satan himself. Until that brother is brought back into the fold. And the moment he walks in those doors, repentant and broken, the church envelops him in such love, works for his restoration, lays down their life for him. But in many cases, what happens is the man is turned out. He continues in his sin. The providence of God never becomes evident. Satan is never unleashed. And it is proven that that man has been a false convert from the start. Brothers, we're not given options. I mean, I know what's taught in seminary. I deal with seminaries. Not in all seminaries, but in most of these seminaries today, it's like, well, if you want to start a church like this plan over here, plan A, and then there's plan B for this certain demographic, and then there's plan C, and this is a new way of doing it, and this is a new... Who gave you the right? Who do you think you are? One of the most fearful things that is going to be on the day of judgment is to have been an evangelical pastor in the United States of America. It will be terrifying. When many of them are cast into hell and others of them see their entire ministry burned up.